Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the VRaaS Cast Live number 14, brought to you by Austin VR Lab. Today is Monday, January 25th, and today is AEC News Day. Now, if you're not familiar with that acronym, AEC stands for Architecture, Engineering, and Construction, a field where Austin VR Lab is really tapping into the industry and helping achieve virtual reality as a service. And that's what VRaaS stands for, virtual reality as a service. So Andre's checking our sound. We're good. Awesome. So glad you were able to join us. So glad we're able to bring you Austin VR Lab and the best virtual reality has to offer. Mondays are VR News Days, where we get into new topics and news in the VR industry and how it applies to being a service. Wednesday, we get into a service that Austin VR Lab provides to our clients that's kind of client specific, but also just the possibilities of what's possible with Austin VR Lab. And we cover projects that we've done in the past, upcoming projects, so definitely a day you want to tune in. And then Fridays, we jump into a virtual reality experience, whether it's racing in Ferraris on the Coda track, or it is playing a strategy game, or jumping into a VR simulation. We like to keep it light and fun on Friday. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, be sure to jump in with us and check out everything that we have to offer. We usually try to get started around 11:45 and run till about 12:15, 12:30. We keep it short. We try to keep them under 30 minutes, that's for sure. And we want to just be, a part of your lunch break, a part maybe something to watch while you're eating, or maybe something just to zone out of your normal workday and tap into the exciting world of virtual reality. Austin VR Lab, we are the VRaaS company, meaning we provide virtual reality as a service. We started out in content creation, found that we needed to provide hardware and education, and then content management and training in virtual reality. So, our purpose as a company is to provide virtual reality and the best virtual reality experiences to as many people as possible. And our focus is in the arts and industry and bringing industry and art together, and then also in education, helping the future generations and future of virtual reality as a whole. So, from the classroom to the boardroom to the parties to the music festivals, Austin VR Lab is there bringing virtual reality, the latest and greatest that it has to offer, and how we can apply it to what you're doing. Now, how do we provide virtual reality as a service? Well, we provide this in three ways. The first way being hardware, access to hardware, procurement, sales, leasing. We bring virtual reality hardware access and what hardware is right for you versus what hardware is just available. And then we're able to provide access to that. The second way we bring virtual reality as a service is through content creation and distribution. Once you're in virtual reality, like how do we create in virtual reality, whether it's for your personal use or business use? How do we bring, for example, what we're going to be talking about today? How do we bring our architecture plans into virtual reality so we can walk in the skyscraper that we are building, or the gym that we're building, or the storage facility we're going to talk about? And it's something I get really excited about, so I don't want to jump right into it, but virtual reality and what Austin VR Lab provides for the construction space is accessibility into your idea. So taking the intangible realm and making it tangible, and being able to walk in space and correct any errors or see something before you actually build it. That is such a powerful tool. We're going to talk exactly about how it provides cost savings. I mean, we're talking 10x cost savings in the architecture, engineering, and construction realm. Now, any product that can provide 10x savings can sometimes sound too good to be true, but when we can prove it and when we can bring your company and your AEC firm into the future, you're definitely going to want to pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us an email. In fact, when you shoot us an email, let's go ahead and introduce you if you haven't already met him. This is Andre. Andre is here in the studio with me.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in.
He's here almost every cast. He's the one who's going to be interacting with you in the chats. Now, that's another thing. One of the reasons we do these live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is because we want to be interactive with you. We want to answer your questions. We want to interact. If you just want to stop in and say hello, or if you want to ask us a VR related question, of course, questions dealing with the topic of the day are always best. But even if you just have a random virtual reality question, we would love to be able to answer that for you. And Andre's here. So if you ever ask me, or if you ever hear me talking to Andre or hear me asking Andre a question, just wanted to introduce you to Andre. That's him right there. And now back to the topic of the day. Now, one more thing I did not cover. The third way Austin VR Lab provides virtual reality as a service. We provide access to hardware, we provide content creation and distribution, but then we also manage the whole project for you. Now, a lot of companies have IT departments and departments that specialize in computers and dealing with their software and dealing with their hardware, but virtual reality is a new kind of technology. And until your in-house IT team or even outsource IT team is prepared to handle these services, Austin VR Lab can provide that for you, whether it's troubleshooting hardware or software, training new employees on how to use the technology, or presenting it to your clients, investors, and your team. When virtual reality enters your workspace, you're going to want continued support, and Austin VR Lab is here to provide that support for you. All right, now getting into the topic of the day. I know a lot of you are excited to hear about this. How exactly are we proving a 10x cost savings in the architecture, engineering, and construction fields? So, we're going to talk about a project done with Unity, a report put out by Unity. These are the same kinds of numbers that Austin VR Lab is seeing with our clients, how they're applying virtual reality. Um, Unity actually put out this a wonderful report for us, so kind of saved us the having to do it part. So these are success stories with Unity and building virtual reality for your design. So let's get right into it. I'm going to talk to you and read to you a little bit about what's going on in the report, give you a quick summary, and talk to you about how we can apply it to your next building project. So, real quick, Mortensen, U.S. Based top 20 builder and developer and provider of energy and engineering services. So their VR customers include major brands and organizations such as Stonebridge Marriott Hotels, Bucknell University, Pennsylvania State University, Kaiser, and the University of Washington Medical Center. So they kind of work across the space when it comes to construction. Now, the results that they found in this report, you're looking at virtual reality empowers customers and development teams to collaborate in real time and develop 3D designs. We speed design iterations up through network interactive and at scale experiences, save customers a significant cost on large projects by identifying design concerns before the construction phase. And we permit customers to sell their vision to stakeholders and prospective students and clients and raise funds from donors. And it enables Mortensen to easily output VR and or 360 video over 25 devices and platforms. Now, Austin VR Lab, we find this same thing with all of our clients. In fact, I've actually been in the room presenting a virtual reality experience for one of our clients to one of their investors. They wanted to bring one of their potential investors at the time over to show them a new gym project that they were working on, and the investor was a little bit on the fence about the project because he hadn't gotten the visualization yet. We immersed him in the building. He was able to tour the building, sit in the conference room. He was able to check out the basketball courts, the weight room, and while still in the headset, use the words, and I'm quoting, "I'm sold." And that was an instance, and just one of the instances in where virtual reality sold the project. And if if you're anything like any other business, investors and pleasing your investors and making sure that they are satisfied and that they are excited about a project is probably the most important key to getting started and getting a project off the ground. And that's definitely where virtual reality can step in and provide that. Now, we're the clock's running on me here, so I'm going to keep going. Of course, if you need access to this report and would like to see the numbers for yourself, be sure to shoot us a chat or email, and we would be happy to provide that for you. Now, this report goes into detail about how Mortensen does it. Going to the Austin VR Lab YouTube channel, going to our website, you can look at some of our projects. And let's go down here. So, on the Stonebridge Marriott project, the Unity created VR simulation saved the customer $45,000 on the mock-up alone. So this is something that we can do with your, whether you're in still in 2D AutoCAD, whether you've moved up to Revit. Um, a lot of a lot of construction companies like to provide a physical mock-up of what the building is going to look like. Cardboard cutouts and little Hot Wheels race cars, what I call them, and trees. Those physical mock-ups cost a lot of money. I'm sure you know, especially when you get into the larger buildings, the more updates that you have to do on that, from the initial cost to the updated cost to even I've seen buildings where the physical mock-up did not match what the final product was going to look like. Well, in VR, we get to save that whole process because we are creating the 3D model that you can actually walk around in VR. Now, talking about physical mock-ups makes me remember that famous Zoolander scene. If you've ever seen, I'm sure a lot of you have seen Zoolander, where he's like, "Is this a reading center for ants?" Because the physical mock-up was at such a small scale. But imagine getting to put Zoolander in virtual reality and really taking him around his reading center. Totally would change the nature of that joke, but you get what I'm talking about between physical mock-up versus a mock-up in virtual reality that you can actually walk around. Saving $45,000 on a project is a very significant amount of money. In fact, it would pay for the virtual reality experience itself a few times over. Now, every project, of course, is different. And that's why you need to shoot us an email, get in contact with Andre as soon as possible to figure out what is the right VR project for you to get started on. Now, Andre, if you want to go ahead and put your email there in
Already
the
done.
chat. Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
see, he's that good. He beat me to it.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, I provided the email. You can hit us up in chat or just give us a call. It's all there, and we're here 24/7 to answer any questions and help out with all of your needs.
Fantastic. So let's keep moving here and keep looking at how virtual reality applies to the AEC industry and how we're saving so much money. Leveraging Unity, the key value of Virtual Insights team brought to all these projects was fully fledged interactive experiences that allowed stakeholders to collaborate on designs of their new spaces long before anything physical was built. Now, this is great because this is one of the ways that I explain how Austin VR Lab provides this for our clients. Is imagine being able to walk the building, walk the skyscraper, walk the school before you've ever even broken ground. This is something that's great for incorporating designs, making design choices and changes way before any buying decisions or contracting decisions have been made. So this will help you do everything from pick the right concrete people that can do the job that you want them to, the drywall, to the electrician and the plumber. I've had engineers who has spent years working in 3D models find errors in their projects by stepping into them in virtual reality first. And then once finding those, expressing to me how much time could have been saved had they had the virtual reality technology sooner. And as we all know, time equals money, especially in the AEC industry. Let's keep scrolling here so we can stay under our 30-minute mark. Well before the physical mock-up is built or materials ordered, the Unity created VR experience gives everyone a great opportunity to discuss and iterate on the design. Having everyone in VR at the same time speeds up the decision-making process and eliminates ambiguity as to what the spaces will look like. Courtesy of their interactive VR pieces, customers have enjoyed huge savings by avoiding major flaws and frustrations long before the backhoes and cranes start swinging into action. So for Mortensen, their customer at Bucknell University, for example, identified a design concern that would have been extremely costly to fix at the construction stage. While the virtual stage was built exactly to spec, once immersed in VR, the customer realized that a new corridor felt too narrow because of the location of a column. Catching this issue in VR saved them more than $500,000. $500,000 because they weren't going to keep this column in there. They were going to be not satisfied with their building. Now, a term that our clients use here with us is the AB, which I'm pretty sure is a industry term, the after build. What happens after a project is built and what changes need to be made? Imagine being able to catch a $500,000 mistake before it's built. And how much value is that going to provide to your next project? Ken Agawa, their associate VP for facilities and sustainability, had this to say about Mortensen's VR project. Finding and avoiding issues has paid for this effort at least 10x already. So here we go. You heard it. Not from me, or you heard it from me, but we're hearing it from not just our clients here in Austin, but clients across the world. Mortensen, 10x at least. We're talking, this is the minimum here. So one of the ways I compare adding virtual reality to a project is, imagine building a house with a hammer and then someone comes along with a nail gun. Imagine mixing concrete by hand and then someone comes up with a mixing truck that can deliver the cement to your job site. Imagine in the design and iterations of the building before having built something, before having done the physical mock up, to be able to walk the building from the investor standpoint of view, from the electrician standpoint, from the eventual customer and consumer standpoint. So clients being able to walk into their condo on the 32nd floor in the sales office before you've broken ground. How many more units will you sell if you have that experience available? It's something to think about. And let's move on. So, on another project, Heather Mann, a senior lead interior designer at Design Force, worked with the Virtual Insights team on the Stonebridge Marriott project. We were able to save an estimated $45,000 on the physical mock-up. Furthermore, the VR approach, here's the most important part, the VR approach let us iterate over design changes, expose and address gaps in the design, and ensure project stakeholders understood the impact of the design decisions that they made. Managing expectations. The last thing you want for an investor or a client or a buyer, whoever it is you're building this building for, to be disappointed with your final product, to not be able to see it, to visualize it, or to have a different visualization in their minds. And that's why in architecture firms, engineering firms, and construction firms rely so heavily on the 3D renders and rely so heavily on the physical mock-ups is because we need to manage expectation. Well, with virtual reality, that issue is solved. They are able to walk through the building. In fact, we can even just adjust the sun rays, right? And the time of day so we can see what the building is going to look like in the morning hours, how the sun is going to come through the windows in the evening hours, and where things will be placed and physically located. The possibilities with virtual reality are quite limitless. And being able to make design changes and iterations and find those gaps before buying decisions are made is priceless. Finally, at Kansas State University, Laird Viach, the executive associate athletic director, credits VR and the review process for saving them $375,000. So stop right there. $375,000 on new lockers in their sports facility. Here's what he had to say. The VR experience gave a true perspective on the depth and feel of the space that other renderings just could not provide. It allowed us to evaluate every component of the assembly to ensure the budget would be met and a high level of quality maintained. Two most important things in any project, more especially in an AEC project. Are we going to meet budget and are we going to have a high level of quality? Priceless. But if we need to put a price on it, $375,000 saved on a locker room.
That's not a small amount of change.
Yeah, not at all. Awesome. And let's keep moving here. So, just with the design and iteration process, how much money is saved, how much of the process is being streamlined. Now we got a couple more minutes. I want to cover the next part of this report. And this is probably one that not only provides a financial benefit, but an overall better building benefit for your process. Fewer risks, safer workers with VR. That headline alone is priceless. If you could have a safer job site, a more secure job site, and a better run job site, whether it's with your workers, whether it's with your site planning, it is an incredible benefit to add VR to your next project. And here's how Austin VR Lab can help. So we're going to look at the Skanska project here and what they had to say about it. Collaborating with creative VR and AR agency, Skanska implemented a VR experience into their standard worker safety training program for major benefit. And here were the results. Increased worker awareness of job hazards, fewer accidents by creating safer work sites, and a boost in worker productivity. Let's check out this video here. Take it. YouTube. Go ahead. So being able to walk the space, know the space, and move through it, they were able to provide worker safety. They were able to show design iterations, but they were able to walk their construction workers through the process. Pretty cool video. Awesome. Next up, a creative partner with deep Unity and VR roots. Explain that VR can reduce real world accidents and injuries. This is real world applications of working and using construction crews to move through a building in virtual reality and set their expectations and their requirements and train them in safety. Out Here worked with Skanska to design VR scenarios that would challenge workers, such as putting them in potentially risky situations and forcing them to make the correct decision that would give them a tangible reward. avoiding a serious virtual accident or injury. Personally, what I am most passionate about in this project is the possibility to eliminate these types of risks completely. We should not be in danger at work. Workers should come home injury free every day. With the virtual reality, we can build emotional situations, which is extremely important if you want to change workers' behaviors to improve safety. VR creates awareness in a way that you can never do with conventional classroom or online training. Workers feel it viscerally as we expose them to different risks without putting them in any real danger. So they become more intuitively aware of such situations. That is the end of the report. Again, if you want a copy of this report, go ahead and shoot Andre an email, arce@austinvrlab.com. He would be happy to get it over to you. Also, if you're looking to add virtual reality to your next project, remember Austin VR Lab is the VRaaS company, virtual reality as a service. Building? Awesome. So, virtual reality as a service, Austin VR Lab for your next architecture, engineering, and construction project. Be sure to get in touch with us. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The next best time is today. Let's plant that seed today and let's get virtual reality working for you. And let's get you some 10x savings and some $375,000 cost savings on locker rooms, or even $500,000 AB savings after build savings on hallways that just seem too narrow for your next project. Austin VR Lab, we're here to help you. We're here to help you see the future and escape to the future. So until we see you in the future, have a great day. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell and join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You got anything else for him, Andre?
Thanks again for tuning in. Be sure to hit us up with any questions you have. And our social media links to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and so on are in the bio underneath. So see y'all later next time. Take care.
See you in the future. Ooh, 27, 26.